Hello, everybody. It's me, David Tiefenthaler, and I got a chance to interview Paul A. Smith from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. He's the editor for the outdoor section of the paper, and he came fishing with me, believe it or not. And here's the interview I had with him when we went fishing on the Wisconsin River today. All right, here we go. These are my questions for you. I don't know if you can answer these and be politically correct sometimes. Like, what if you say you like hunting or fishing better? would that make readers upset?
You know what? I grew up fishing year-round in Wisconsin, and I still do that. So, I mean, I'm sure I fish more than I hunt.
Okay.
Right? Every year, because fishing, that's a beautiful thing about it, is the opportunities are they're always there for people that want to do it. And hunting is really not that way. Right now is spring turkey season, which is something that I never did until I was an adult. I grew up in Wisconsin and there was no spring hunting.
Yeah.
So it was a revelation when we started having these turkeys. They were reintroduced and they were available, and you would go out in the spring woods and start hunting something. I thought it was a total life changer. But really, it's probably less than half of the year for hunting, but it's 12 months for fishing.
Do you see some turkeys on the way in? I saw a couple.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I saw a couple coming in.
I've got a pretty good driving record, but any issues I have are related to looking at wildlife in fields as I'm driving. I'm always looking at that back corner. There's got to be a strutting turkey there, or toward the evening the deer have got to start coming out. So yeah, I saw a bunch of turkeys.
All right, that kind of leads me to the next one. What's your favorite season of the year in Wisconsin?
Have you ever heard the saying that if I were king, I would make October 90 days long? October is probably my favorite month of the whole year. But I don't have, I'm married, and my wife is a Wisconsinite, but she really doesn't like March, April, when it's kind of like end of winter, getting gray. For me, I just love it. I love every month and all the weather that it brings, because there's still things we can do. There's another saying that there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. And so you can dress for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Outdoors people, you learn you can dress for it and still get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Look what we have today. When I think about what I wore when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm on.
Get on. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Sometimes they say bah. They bah. They make a little noise.
Oh, that's why they say that? All right. Well, we're on the board. There's Paul, busy at work, writing as I'm rambling. Probably talking way too much. It serves as a good skill as a teacher to be able to talk a lot, so at least I got that going for me. Oh, that leads me. Why did you decide to become a writer?
I grew up in Wisconsin, and my dad owned a corner drugstore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we lived in Mount Pleasant, Racine County. It was kind of rural. It was an old potato farm. It was going to become a subdivision, and it had gone fallow, and there were fields. And I had two older brothers, 7 and 5 years older than me, and then me. And they had permission to hunt and fish anytime they wanted. My parents rented a farmhouse for a period of time. And there was a pond and a creek and a woods and then these fields. So that's what we did every day.
Just run around out there?
And we would go to church on Sunday, and we didn't get an allowance, but if we were good, if we got a thumbs up, my dad would say you could have like a candy bar from the store. We would stop at the pharmacy on the way home. Or I always took a magazine, Outdoor Life, Field and Stream, Sports and Field, Fishing Facts. And I just read those things cover to cover. And I knew what my little outdoors world was in Racine County, But I was reading about these people hunting elk in the Rocky Mountains and fishing for salmon in Alaska, everything, and bass down in Florida. So I just started, because I had access to the outdoors, and then it fueled so I loved to read, and then I started writing. And I eventually turned it into what I'm doing now. I was lucky enough to get a job at the Racine Journal-Times as outdoors writer. So I worked there for 13 years, and now I've been 12 at the Milwaukee Journal. It's the only job that I want. There's a lot of great jobs in the world, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the only one that I want. So I feel privileged to be able to do it. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got into it. But I got that spark when I was real little. That's why it's so important for all of us to help people get access to the outdoors. If a kid shows an interest, please take them out, or an adult, maybe a coworker or a neighbor. If someone's got an interest and you can get them an experience, then they can start to build on that, and maybe it becomes, who knows what it turns into. But the more people that enjoy our outdoors, I think the more people will take care of it, and the better things will be for the future.
Well, that's one thing that's neat about the outdoors, is because I didn't know as much about the world of Wisconsin until I got into this. And then, once you kind of get into it, you realize Wisconsin is such a unique state. Like all the different landforms that are here, the driftless area, the Kettle Moraine, the area where I live, the Great Lakes that we touch. It's an amazing area. Oh, and this is my other question before I forget. Have you ever thought of writing a book? Hey, you might be on. You might be on. No? Okay.
You know what? The job that I do takes my time, you know, and so I haven't started to try to write a book or think about it. But maybe in some future time when I'm retired or whatever, I might try to think about doing something like that.
But have you ever stumbled upon a story that you're like, this is more than what I can share?
Absolutely, man. Every story that I write, I have to edit down. Seriously, everything. And everyone has a story too. Every person. Here you are. We're out here today because of you.
Yeah.
And now I'm using your rods.
That's okay. I feel very good. You caught a fish. I caught a fish. Yeah.
Shovelnose landed. But everyone has a story. Here's you. I mean, you're the prime example. But everybody does. I mean, especially when you're talking about the outdoors, their interaction. It's so natural for humans to interact with the outdoors, whether it's through raising crops, or viewing wildlife or fishing and hunting. So, I could write a book about a lot of different topics. Well, one of the things that a lot of newspaper guys do, like me, is once they retire, they'll compile their columns, their favorite columns.
Oh, okay.
And, over 26 years of doing what I'm doing, there's usually, there's 3 a week. So there's a bunch of material available.
That you could.
If I were interested in doing that. That might be something, that would be maybe one of the early choices on the list. But I really, to be honest with you, deadlines, that's work. Writing can be work. So I don't know. I might retire and just hang out on sandy beaches and cast a line all the time.
That's true. Thanks for talking with me, Paul.
Oh God!
Do you want to check the rod behind you? That one's kind of being funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for talking with me. Guessing it's a freshwater drum because it wasn't fighting much. It was just kind of sitting there.
Oh no! It's long and slim.
Yeah, you got one too. Are you kidding me?
It's long and slim.
Hey, Paul, that's no way.
He's a beautiful fish.
That's so cool. Thanks, Paul, for fishing with me, and I'm so glad that it was a good time. Also, for all of my viewers, go check out the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel outdoor section and see all of Paul A. Smith's articles so you can see all the different opportunities for the outdoor enthusiasts in the great state of Wisconsin where I live.